Welcome back students. In this video we shall learn lesson number 15, materials we use. Students, you have already learned about natural and man-made materials in your previous classes, isn't it? So what you have to do, that you have to make a list of natural and man-made substances you see around you. We have learned that a new substance produced by the chemical processing of natural substances is called a man-made substance. In this lesson, we will learn about some substances of daily use. So let's start. Students, can you tell me that which substances were used earlier for cleaning teeth and what do we use today to clean our teeth? We have seen that in olden times in India, acacia bark, neem twigs, coal powder, ash, tooth powder, salt, pomegranate rind were used for cleaning teeth. Today, however, a variety of toothpaste and tooth powders are used for this purpose, isn't it? Now, this toothpaste, the principal ingredients of a toothpaste, calcium carbonate and calcium hydrogen phosphate, remove the dirt on teeth. These ingredients also polish the teeth. A certain proportion of fluoride in the toothpaste helps prevent tooth decay. Fluoride is essential for the strengthening of bones and the enamel covering of teeth. So, what you have to do? Brush your teeth twice properly. Okay, because it is very useful to keep our teeth clean. Now, can you tell me that what is the source of the fluoride in a toothpaste or tooth powder? Fluoride is a naturally occurring element. It is present in all the water sources. In tooth powder and toothpaste, the fluoride is added in the form of magnesium fluoride. It is absorbed in the covering of the teeth and it helps in keeping our teeth clean. Okay, now let's see about detergents. Detergents. There are two kinds of detergents, natural detergents and man-made detergents. The word detergent is derived from the Latin word detergere, which means to wipe away. A detergent is a substance that cleans or wipes away dirt. Soap nut, that is known as Rita. Soap pod, that is shikakai. Soap, washing soda, washing powder, liquid soap, shampoo are all detergents because all these things are used for what? To wipe away the dirt. Okay. Now let's see about that one experiment. Like what we need for this experiment is a clean glass bottle, water, oil, detergent, etc. It's very simple experiment which you can also try. Apparatus needed for this experiment is a clean glass bottle, water, oil, detergent, etc. Take some water in a clean glass bottle, add some oil to it. The layer of oil will float on the water. Shake the bottle vigorously. After some time, when the liquid in the bottle settles, the oil will again be seen floating on the water. Now add a few drops of the solution of a detergent to the above mixture. Shake the bottle vigorously. You will see that the water and oil have become homogeneous and the color of the mixture appears milky. Do you know why does this happen? The molecules of a detergent are long and the properties of its two ends are different. A molecule of a detergent holds on to a water molecule at one end and an oil molecule at the other. As a result, the molecules of oil mix with the water. This is how soap acts when we wash ourselves or our soiled clothes. Our body and clothes become oily for various reasons such as applying gels or creams, oiling our hair, etc. The oily layer sticks fast to the crisscrossing threads of the material of our clothes. Soap is used for removing it. Due to the property of holding on to both oil and water, soap water spreads easily on many types of surfaces. The property of a substance of spreading on a surface is called surface activity and the substance is said to be a surfactant. Detergents are surface active. One effect of surface activity is lather formation. Hope you understood about the action of soap and detergents. Natural detergent and man-made detergent. You can observe on the screen. Some pictures of natural detergent is also given over here, and soap, which is a man-made detergent. Soap nut and soap pod are the natural detergents in common use. They contain a chemical named saponin. Soap nut and soap pod do not have any harmful effect on human skin or on silk and woolen threads and cloth, as they are natural. Now in man-made detergent, the main important thing which we use is soap. Soap is a man-made detergent which has been in use since ancient times. It is believed that soap was invented in the West about 2000 years ago. In those days, soap was prepared using animal fat and wood ash. Today we come across a variety of soaps. Today we use many types of soaps like laundry soap, kitchen soap, liquid soap, perfumed soap, cleaning soap. Hard soap is used for washing clothes. It is a sodium salt of fatty acids. Soft soap is used for bathing. It is a potassium salt of fatty acids. It does not cause irritation of the skin. In the hard water of a well or a tube well, soap does not give lather but forms a scum. As a result, soap loses its cleansing property. So like this, nowadays we are using many different types of soap according to its purpose. Next is synthetic detergent. Now, synthetic detergents have taken the place of soap. By several methods, detergents are manufactured. The long structural units in the synthetic detergents are obtained from raw materials which are mainly fats or kerosene. Detergents are obtained by subjecting these raw materials to a variety of chemical processes. Synthetic detergents are used in many types of cosmetics and it can be used in hard water too. In the detergents, supporting additives such as perfumes, dyes, germicides, alcohol, anti-foaming agents, moisturizers, fine sand, etc. are added to make them more useful. So, synthetic detergents can be used in hard water as well. Now, let's learn about the soap preparation process. Soap is prepared by hydrolyzing fats or oils under alkaline condition. This reaction is called saponification. Now what materials we need for preparing this soap is 15 grams sodium hydroxide, 60 ml coconut oil, 15 grams salt perfume, a glass rod, beaker, tripod, wire gauze, burner, water, mold, etc. These are the materials used. And this experiment is there in your textbook, page number 102. So the procedure is also given over there, that you have to take 60 ml coconut oil in a beaker, dissolve 15 grams sodium hydroxide in 50 ml water. Mix the sodium hydroxide solution in the oil slowly while stirring it with a glass rod. Heat the mixture and boil it for 10-12 minutes, stirring it all the while. Take care that the mixture does not boil over while heating. Dissolve 15 grams salt in 200 ml water. Pour this solution into the above mixture and stir. The soap formed by the chemical reaction now floats on the water. After some time it becomes thick. Now separate the thick soap and add the perfume to it. Shape the bar of soap using the mold. In the above process, fat and alkali combine to form salts of fatty acids. Chemically, soap is a sodium or potassium salt of fatty acids. This is just for your understanding purpose. You don't have to try it at home, okay? Till now we learned about soaps and detergents because these are the things which we use regularly. And now we will learn about the construction process, okay? So can you tell me what are the materials used for construction? Bricks, cement, concrete, sand, reinforcement, glass, plastic, wood, tiles. These all are the things which are used for construction. Now cement production, because we know that cement is an important material in construction. Sheets, blocks, pillars and pipes are made from concrete produced from cement. Cement is a dry greenish grey powder with fine particles. It is made from silica, that is sand, alumina, aluminum oxide, lime, iron oxide and magnesia. Portland cement is the most commonly used cement for construction work. It is made from raw material which consists lime, silica, alumina. The rest is iron oxide and gypsum. Portland cement gets its name from the stone quarried from the Isle of Portland in England, which has a similar texture. In ancient times, the Romans had made cement as well as concrete. They used to make aqueous cement by mixing volcanic ash in moistened lime. It was a very durable cement. With the decline of the Roman Empire, this art of making cement was also forgotten. In 1756, the British engineer John Smeaton developed the method of making aqueous cement. Concrete. Concrete is prepared by mixing cement, water, sand, and gravel. For making a strong and leak-proof slab, certain substances are mixed in concrete as concrete becomes more stronger. In this way, we have completed our lesson. Now we have to read the lesson carefully and complete the assignment given on page number 103 in your textbook. You have to complete all the exercise properly in your classwork. And as usual, related activities in your activity book. Till then, study well and take care.